Hello friends, this is Robert West. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The topic of today's video is Volodymyr Zelenskyy, President of Ukraine, says no, we are not trading land for peace with Russia. Before we start, I just want to thank all the new viewers to the YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Also, feel free to like, comment, share. Now, let's get into this topic. So the other day, as intrusive as Donald Trump is, him and Putin agreed to meet next week in Alaska to discuss the Russian-Ukraine war. Excluded from those discussions are Ukraine, an integral party to any type of peace negotiation. As usual, Trump chickened out as usual. He gave Vladimir Putin a deadline, which of course he did not meet. And he did not take any action against the Russian president. Why? Well, do we know for sure? No, but there's always been speculation that he's got some kind of connection to Russia, or maybe Russia's got something on him. So, needless to say, he came out with a statement just yesterday saying that Russia and Ukraine were going to have to swap land for peace. Land for peace. Now, this guy is such an a-hole. He thinks he's going to tell another country how to settle terms of a war. This guy is foolish among stupid. The Ukrainians have been fighting hard. They are outgunned. They are outmanned. And they sure as hell aren't giving up 1 inch of territory for any peace. If they were to do that, then Russia would be rewarded for starting a war for no good reason. Now, you can hear all their bullshit reasons, and that's what they do, give a lot of bullshit reasons. They had no reason. Ukraine never attacked them, never threatened to attack them. No, they're threatened because Ukraine is a democracy, and it's moving towards the West. It will not stop with Ukraine. This man, Putin, wants to reclaim the glory of the Soviet Union for Russia. Zelenskyy speaks for his people, and they are not trading nothing. So the problem, here's the problem. If Vladimir Putin gave a crap about his people, he would seriously consider stopping this war. But he doesn't give a crap about his people. He's not only sacrificing Russians, he's sacrificing North Koreans. He's given some things to Kim Jong-un, and in return, Un has given him North Korean troops who are now fighting this war. What Ukraine needs is weapons, more deadly weapons. They need to make this war more painful for Russians. That's the only way this guy's going to stop. The problem is when the leader of a country doesn't give a crap about his own people, negotiating is kind of pointless. Should you try? Of course you should try. But his losses aren't enough for him to be concerned. The way to actually do this, if we had a president in the country who had a brain, is to cut off their oil sales. If you take away their money, they're not able to do much. This is why he was threatening India and China for buying Russian oil. But the U.S. Senate wanted to sanction Russia, and he does everything he can to coddle Russia. Russia is not a superpower. They have some serious weaponry, that's true. But if you got to use North Korean troops to defeat a country like Ukraine, you have a manpower and weaponry advantage. That says a lot about the country. They're a paper tiger. Can they cause some damage? Of course. They're not that powerful. It's obvious they're not that powerful. The problem is Trump is a pussy. That's what he is. He didn't want to get drafted into Vietnam. He gave some bullshit excuse about shin splints. He's not that guy. He talks tough. If this guy actually had to go and fight himself, he would just shit his pants and wouldn't do a damn thing, because that's who the guy is. He's weak. He's mentally weak. He's degenerate. He's a despicable human being, and he's doing nothing to stop any war. He thinks he's doing something because he's got a bunch of sycophants telling him how great he is. This guy's a blithering idiot. He's not the power. Somebody else is telling him what to do. There's no doubt in my mind this man, while he got elected president through all kinds of shady stuff, he's not the true power. What he doesn't understand, and we may find out sooner rather than later, is that when he becomes no longer useful to the power brokers who put him there, they can take him out. Who knows? Could be Rupert Murdoch of Fox News. Could be somebody else. It's unclear. But he's got a lot of troubles. His own base is questioning this Jeffrey Epstein thing. So this is his idea of negotiating. You negotiate with the other country who's involved in the war and leave out the country that's also involved in the war. This is idiotic. You're never going to get anywhere. I think he already knows that, though. That's why he agrees to all these things. He's just putting on a show to make it look he's trying to do something. He's not doing anything. He doesn't have the balls to do anything. Because for some reason, Russia's got some stuff on him. And if he doesn't play nice, they may release it. That could be what's really happening. I wouldn't believe a word he says. This thing in Alaska is going to be a joke. But he'll continue to play games, pretend that he's mad at Russia. He could care less about how many people die, whether it's Russians or Ukrainians. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. All right, friends, that's it for this one. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost anything. Free to comment, like, share. We'll see you in the next video.